From the Pine Belt Arena in Toms River, New Jersey, Stateliner Sports Network proudly presents Phillipsburg High School Wrestling. This morning, it is the New Jersey Group 4 semifinals, matching the Stateliners of Phillipsburg against the Gales of Roxbury High School. Phillipsburg Wrestling is brought to you on the Stateliner Sports Network by the Rothman Institute, a worldwide leader in orthopedics and official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA. Visit rothmaninstitute.com. By Ahart, Frinzi & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at afsinsurance.com. By Urco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Visit us at urcocu.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterd and Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. And by Welcome to the Pit, the history of Phillipsburg wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. Morning, everyone. I'm Mike Moore, along with Bob Kerp. We'll be bringing you all the hold-by-hold of today's Group 4 semifinal. We'll get right to the lineups. We will start at 132 pounds. It'll be Kevin Rosato of Roxbury, a senior 6'10". For Phillipsburg, either TJ Abode, a junior 3'6", or junior Kyle Tino, 17'8". 138, Scott Jarosz of Roxbury, a junior 27'5", or Brendan Poskett. Against the Stateliners, Cody Harrison, a junior 24'3". 145, Dominic Larusso, a senior 25'5" for Roxbury, against either Jason Zinsmeister, a junior 15'11", or sophomore Ryan Mitzak, 0'3". 152, Evan Vasquez, a junior 26'5", or Anatai Akpan for Roxbury, a junior 0'2". For Phillipsburg, either Josh Ramos, a senior 17'7", or senior Brian Meyer, 27'2". Either Ramos or Meyer will go at 160. And weighed in there for Roxbury, Anthony Rallo, a junior 21'9", or senior Michael Roumez, he is 12'3". 170, Michael Carenti, weighed in for Roxbury, a junior 8'7", against Phillipsburg senior Lance Wissing, 30'3". 182, Talha Kahn, a senior 24'6", or Ben Temples, a junior 5'3", for Roxbury, against Phillipsburg junior Austin Roth, 16'9". 195, Stephen Fowler, a senior, 16'12" for Roxbury. For Phillipsburg, it'll be senior Shamir Brodders, 13'12". Should tell you right away that it is Kyle Tino who is pacing in front of the mat, and also TJ Abode, so no clue there to our right. 220, Jose Diaz is senior, 19'13" for Roxbury, or sophomore Charles Lisa, 1'5", against Phillipsburg sophomore Cody Crutz, 9'10". 285, Joseph Hills, a senior, 5'13" for the Gales, against Phillipsburg senior Patrick Sharp, 18'13". 106, Franco Mazza, a freshman, 24'9" for Roxbury, against Stateliner freshman Logan Matsko, 14'13". Jeffrey Curran, a junior, 2'4" for Roxbury, 113", against Phillipsburg's Cullen Day, a senior, 23'8". 120, John Tesario, a junior, 12'16" for Roxbury, against Phillipsburg, either Travis Jones, a junior, 28'4", or junior Bryce Parenti, 2'0". And at 126 for Roxbury, either Lawrence Hopkins, a senior, 14'15", or sophomore Josh Rosato, 0'3". For Phillipsburg, Brendan Fox, a junior, 1'11", or junior Luke Harden, who is 1'5". There are some common opponents between the two schools. Roxbury wrestled Newton, lost to them 41-24. Stateliners beating Newton back in December, 39-29. Both teams wrestled Ocean, with Phillipsburg beating Ocean 50-21. Roxbury lost to Ocean 33-24. They each have wrestled Middletown North. Phillipsburg beating them on Friday 32-30. Roxbury dropped a 36-26 decision. Roxbury lost to Hanover Park 36-22. And the Stateliners defeated Hanover Park 33-26. Roxbury advancing here, beating Passaic Valley 46-30, Fairlawn 33-30, and West Morris 39-19. And by the way, they had lost to West Morris 40-16 earlier in the season. Our referees, toss was won by Roxbury. Referees are Guy Saraki and Mark Russo. So we'll start at 1:32. For Phillipsburg, this is going to be Kyle Tino. Tino is a junior, 17-8. Thank you, Kevin Rosato. Very cooperative Roxbury coaching staff, letting us know who's coming out for their wrestlers. Kevin's a senior, 6-10.
Both wrestled, both weighed in rather at 133 and change.
Now we may have, I think indicated we may have another 3 minutes before the start. They'll get going just at a, well, I guess we're not gonna hold them up, we're gonna go. Stateliners Kyle Tino is in the garnet, predominantly garnet singlet, gray and white trim. Roxbury out predominantly blue. Rosato with a wrap around his left elbow. Stateliner team seated to our right. Roxbury to our left. Scoreboard off to my right. Tino misses a shot at the left leg, can't pull it in. Taps at the head of Rosato as they fight for hand and wrist control. Rosato looking for a Russian tie with the left arm. Has the left wrist and the elbow. Wrestlers break apart. Referee for this bout is Mark Russo. Wrestled 40 seconds, and now Tino's in on the right leg, steps through, and Tino has a takedown. Leads 2-0. Driving a half from the right side. Tino has Rosato on his back, and the fall in 1:04. So Phillipsburg jumps out in front of Roxbury, 6-0 on the fall by Kyle Tino at 1:32.
Didn't look like Tino had that half in very deep, but he sunk it deep enough, and with the body press was able to complete the pin.
Cody Harrison coming out for Phillipsburg, junior 24-3, and Scott Jarosz, a junior 27-5 for the Gales. And they're waiting for the scoreboard to reset. We're all ready to go. Cody Harrison for Phillipsburg, Scott Jarosz for Roxbury.
Harrison at 139.5, Jarosz at 138.9.
Harrison in on the left leg behind the knee, trying to pull that leg through. Jarosz with a whizzer. Harrison grabbing that leg to a double, lifts him up, steps through, has a takedown, drives a half. And some injury time for Jarosz. But a takedown for Harrison to go up 2-0. Just underway here from Pine Belt Arena. Phillipsburg coach Dave Post has shed the sport coat. He's ready. Jarosz is okay. And we'll be back to it here at 1:38. Jarosz is set. Harrison, right hand tight waist, chops at the left elbow. Jarosz stands, mat return by Harrison. Cody with the claw on the left shoulder. Gonna cut him. On the escape, Harrison out in front 2-1. Working takedowns again here in the first with 1:10 to go.
And common opponents, both with major victories over Ocean's Cephaly.
Harrison dives in at a double. And the mat return. Takedown for Harrison, his second, and he leads 4-1. Barring the left arm. Has the left arm, controlling that behind the back of Jarosz. With 35 seconds to go here, out the left side, looking for cradle. And Jarosz tries to stand, and he'll cut him again. It's 2-1. It's 4-2. Harrison. Jarosz diving in at the edge. Can he finish? Right in front of the Roxbury bench, they go off neutral.
He had a leg, but nothing more. Harrison's last takedown on that double was more of a reach than a shot, but he sucked it in, was able to complete it.
Cody, two-time district champ, third in the region last year and 8th in the state. 73-19 in his career, coming off seasons of 23-8, 26-8, right now 24-3. And we have blood coming from a finger on the left hand of Scott Jarosz.
Harrison's looked very good on his feet in recent weeks.
They have stopped the blood clot, the flow of blood. Now they're going to wipe some more blood off of Jarosz and do a little mat cleanup. Dave Posts discussed strategy with Cody Harrison. More blood on the mat, I think, than anybody thought.
Yeah, it's dispersed. Must have been traveling more than they knew. Good Phillipsburg crowd on hand, making the trek to Toms River on a foggy morning.
Taking care of some more blood spots, now right in the center. Phillipsburg leads this series unofficially over Roxbury 5-0. They last met in the Group 4 semis in 2015. Phillipsburg winning 59-6 that day. They also met postseason back in 2004. That was in a Group 3 semi. Phillipsburg winning that one 40-19. Back to the action here with 20 seconds to wrestle in the first. Cody Harrison of Phillipsburg out in front of Scott Jarosz of Roxbury 4-2 on a pair of takedowns. 2 Jarosz escapes. Harrison diving in. Stepping through, no advantage here. Jarosz has a leg and a whizzer put in by Harrison. And the first period comes to an end with Harrison on top 4-2.
It's a good counter by Jarosz as Harrison was in on kind of a high crotch. Picked up Jarosz to try to finish, but Jarosz was able to scramble away, used a whizzer to break free.
Jarosz's counters were better on the last 2 Harrison shots. Cody throwing a right leg in. Jarosz stands and has both feet come up off the mat. Referee Mark Russo stops that potentially dangerous. State Liners lead the match 6-0. We're at 1:38 or the second of 14. Harrison using that tight waist to take Jarosz off his knees and controls the right wrist. Out the right side. And trying to pick him up through the crotch and turn him. Is that right leg trap, looking for a cradle. Lost it. Jarosz is up and out, and it's 4-3 here in the second. The only takedowns in the bout belong to Harrison. Jarosz eyeing Harrison up and moving side to side.
Harrison has been the initiator so far. Jarosz with good counters.
Roxbury competing in District 7. Jarosz was 3rd in District 7 last year and 6th in the region. He's in on Harrison's left leg behind the knee at the edge. Harrison controlling the left elbow, and they're off the mat neutral at 51 seconds.
Jarosz may actually have a slight reach advantage, but has yet to be able to use it.
think Harrison's become a little more cautious, Bob, going after that double as he goes in, and Jarosz looks to throw him on by. Harrison has a takedown and has some back points. Coming in the fall! In 3:28 for Cody Harrison, and we are through 2. Phillipsburg leads Roxbury 12-0, and Jarosz is shaken up.
Yeah, that was all feet, because as Harrison went in there on the double, just kept going and put Jarosz to his back.
I think it was about 3 seconds before that when I said he's become more cautious looking for that double. And, he drove through it, planted Jarosz, and got the fall. So we'll go to 145. This is Phillipsburg's Ryan Mitzak. The sophomore is 0-3. And Dominic Larusso will go out for Roxbury. Larusso is a senior. He is 25-5. Mitzak's in the state liner gray singlet. Susie state liner on the left hip. Larusso tying up an arm. So I think with those early results and Mitzak coming in here, Bob, state liner is going to be kicking some folks up.
Right. Figure they got bonus points at the first 2. They may have a couple to give. And then go for better matchups further on, as Russo appears to have the strength advantage in this one. Mitzak weighed in at 146.3, Russo at 146.2.
Russo has very long blonde hair. Saw him at the weigh-in, so he has that under that cap. He missed on a shot at Mitzak's left leg. Russo looking for an inside tie on Mitzak. Mitzak trying to back his way out of that. He does. Back up to their feet. And fighting for hand and wrist control with 55 seconds to wrestle here in the first. Mitzak tried to dive in on the right leg. Russo sprawls. And they go off the mat across the way neutral at 47 seconds.
And Mitzak's going to need a deep shot if he wants to take down Larusso, because I don't think he's got enough strength to pull in a leg.
Reaches for the left leg, can't get it. Now Larusso looking for a front head and arm, and he spins around to Mitzak's left with a takedown. Larusso on top, 2-0. Controlling Mitzak's left wrist. Reaching inside. Mitzak stands. Larusso brings him back down to his knees.
It's our third bout, but that's the first takedown for Roxbury.
Under 15 seconds in the first. Mitzak trying to get to a stand, and then Larusso trips, brings him back down. First period ends 2-0. Dominic Larusso of Roxbury over Phillipsburg's Ryan Mitzak. Mitzak's choice. He defers. Larusso will go underneath to start the second. Larusso getting set, hands and knees. Now Ryan Mitzak, right hand tight waist, left elbow. Larusso stands right away. Hooks a leg and reverses. Lead Mitzak 4-0. Trying to set up a hazard. Behind the right knee, gives up on that. Now throwing the legs in, wants to work a power half. Mitzak fighting for control of that right wrist, lost it. Mitzak then tried to take him over top. Larusso takes the left wrist. Pressures on the head. Stalemate's called by referee Mark Russo. with 1:09 to wrestle here in the second. Dominic Larusso of Roxbury leading Phillipsburg's Ryan Mitzak 4-0. State Liners lead the match 12-0. Larusso weight high in the back of Mitzak. Riding out the left side. Gets the right leg in as Mitzak tries to come to a stand. 40 seconds to go here in the second. Larusso has controlled Mitzak, has not been able to turn him. Stalemate's called at 33 seconds.
That's got to be good so far for Phillipsburg, and a match that Mitzak is certainly not expected to win, but avoid bonus points would be a plus for the State Liners.
Across the way, they're still at the 132 in overtime.
They're in overtime now. They had considerable blood or injury time earlier.
Larusso trying to set up a hazard. Has the right arm pulled all the way across the body on Mitzak. Stalling warning on Mitzak, first warning. Larusso taking that right wrist. Trying to turn Mitzak to his left. Mitzak fighting it off with 5 seconds to go. And the second period comes to an end. 4-0 Larusso. Mitzak will go neutral in the third. Fighting for hand and wrist control. Larusso had a first period takedown, second period reversal. He's a District 7 runner-up from a year ago. This season, a Dover tournament champion, Kittatinny tournament champion, and second in Morris County for his 26-5 record. 30 seconds gone here in the third. Again, they fight for wrist control at the edge. Come back in and circle.
I think Larusso's takedown in the first was on a counter, a Mitzak shot that was not very deep, and Larusso just spun around for his takedown.
Mitzak backs up to the center, takes a look at the clock. We're down to 55 seconds. And I think Phillipsburg would very much settle for a regular decision here.
And Mitzak's going to circle and dance. I don't think he necessarily even wants to try to grab a leg to burn some time. He just needs a little forward motion to avoid a stalling call.
Looking for an inside tie, trying to underhook the right shoulder with 30 seconds to go in the bout. Stalemate's called at 22 seconds.
This is a big shot for Ryan Mitzak, who hasn't had a lot of varsity time this year.
Yeah, he's done like 0-2, 0-3 coming in, and it's all been late here in the season.
And he took a couple for the team along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to underhook the right shoulder. We're under 10 seconds to go here in the bout. And Larusso, it's just he's circling away.
It's a very positive performance for Ryan Mitzak.
Yes, it is. That's a 4-0 regular decision for Dominic Larusso. We are through 3. Phillipsburg 12 and Roxbury 3. Roxbury has to be out first at 152. Brian Meyer, and I believe this is, Evan Vasquez. He's a junior, 26-5. Brian Meyer is a senior, 27-2. Brian Meyer, third in the state a year ago. Vasquez shooting in on Meyer's right ankle. Meyer circling, spins around the other way. Has to get a knee to the mat. There's a takedown for Meyer. He leads 2-0. Meyer looking for right-hand thigh pry. Vasquez stands and comes out. It's 2-1. Vasquez shoots in. Meyer had a leg. Vasquez turned the other way and fought that off. Vasquez dives in at the right leg. Meyer sprawls, spinning around behind, has himself his second takedown. And Meyer leads 4-1. He's going to cut him. 4-2. Right in front of our Stateliner Sports Network camera. And they're off the mat with 1:04 to wrestle in the first. Meyer adjusting that ankle band. Now he's ready.
Vasquez at 153.3, Meyer at an even 153.
Vasquez with half a shot. Another one. And Meyer just threw him on by for his third takedown to go up 6-2. Meyer trying to work a tilt. 40 seconds to wrestle here in the first. Dave Post says cut him. On the escape, 6-3. Just under 30 to go. Meyer in on the leg, takes him down, his fourth. Leads 8-3. And we have blood time or injury time?
I think Vasquez took a shot to the eye, rubbing the eyeball.
He's okay. He'll get set in a defensive position, and Meyer's going to cut him with 23 seconds to go. It's 8-4. Meyer very confident that he can take him down after having 4 already. Vasquez tried to get in on a leg. Meyer spins around the other way. Takedown number 5. He leads 10-4. Reaching across, looking for a cross-face cradle. He has it locked up, but he's run out of time. 10-4, Brian Meyer after 1. Vasquez choosing to go underneath in the second.
Meyer with wins against all of the common opponents. Newton, Ocean, Mid-North, and Hanover Park. Vasquez only got a win against Ocean's Emerson DeRose, 10-1.
Trying to lock up a cross-face cradle. Now a hazard. 2-on-1 on the wrist. 1 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 back points for Brian Meyer. That's 13-4. Meyer reaching across on that claw on the left shoulder. Reaches inside for the right wrist. Takes the left wrist. Vasquez stands. Meyer will cut him. It is 13-5. Vasquez with half a shot, and Meyer throws him on by, and they're off at 1:10. Vasquez tapping at the head of Meyer. Vasquez sprawls. Meyer in on the legs. Trying to pick up the right leg at the edge, trying to pull him back on. Vasquez stretching as far as he can to get off. Meyer pulling him back on and gets the takedown. 15-5. Boy, he's working hard.
He's used a variety of moves here, but he's been very confident on his feet.
He has the left arm pulled behind the back, controlling the chin. Gives up on that. They'll take him off at, at 23 seconds to go in the second. 15-5 for Brian Meyer. On his way to Lehigh. climbing up the state liner all-time win category. He's at 119 right now. He will cut Vasquez to make it 15-6. Vasquez reaching, Meyer sprawls, spins around, behind him, has to get a lift. Knee to the mat, 17-6. Meyer with 7 takedowns, 3 back points. And he rides out the second period. 17-6 Meyer after 2. And Meyer indicates he'll take neutral in the third. Taps at the head of Vasquez. Meyer tries to snap down on the head. Vasquez with half a shot. Meyer's in on a leg to 2 legs, takes him down, and they're off. It is 19-6. If he doesn't turn him, he'd have to cut him and take him down twice to get the technical fall. Brian, a 3-time district champ, 2-time regional champ, 3rd in the state a year ago, and he's ranked 2nd in this weight class in the state. He's going to cut him. Cuts him. It is 19-7. Minute 15 to go. Had a shot at the left leg, couldn't pull it in. There's a shot by Vasquez. Meyer sprawls. Meyer throws him to his back. Cement job and a fall. In 4:58. We are through 4. It's Phillipsburg 18 and Roxbury 3. Third fall for the state liners in the first 4 bouts. Getting them from Tino in a minute 4. Cody Harrison in 3:28. Now Brian Meyer in 4:58. Michael Roumez out at 160. And this will be Josh Ramos for Phillipsburg. Roumez is a senior 12-3. I believe he missed time injury this season.
That was a dominant performance from Brian Meyer. 9 takedowns. And as you said, Mike, he just threw him to his back from his knees.
Yeah, against a wrestler coming in at 26-5. Roumez in on Ramos's right leg behind the knee, and they're off no advantage. 21 seconds in.
Across the way after 2 bouts, Highland up 4-3 over Long Branch.
Power shrug by Ramos. He's behind Roumez. Can he bring him to the mat? Lifts, gets a knee, takedown for Ramos. Roumez stands right away, looking for a standing hazard. And they go off with Ramos still in control. Looking over to Dave Post, Scott Silvas, Brian Kopeski, Brad Gensel for some instruction to our right. Roumez tries to sit. Ramos left hand tight waist. Roumez stands and Roumez is out. 2-1 Ramos.
Ramos very comfortable with those upper body moves, and it's all about position for him, not strength.
So Phillipsburg holding out Jason Zinsmeister at 145 and not kicking everybody up. So they had both Ramos and Meyer weighed in at 52, Meyer going at 52, and Ramos going at 60. So he's giving up a little weight to Michael Roumez, who's looking for a Russian tie. Shot in the leg, and then Ramos sprawls. Near the edge, and they'll go off at 21 seconds.
Ramos at 152.9, Roumez at 159.7.
Roumez was a District 7 champ a year ago and 4th in Region 2 when he was 30-10. There's another takedown, and Ramos missed on the hazard, and he's going to get hit for locked hands. But he did get the takedown, and then Roumez is going to get a reversal. So the takedown made it 4-1. Locked hands is going to make it 4-2, and a reversal is going to make it 4-4. So we're 4-4 as the first period comes to an end. Roumez's choice, he will go underneath to start the second. The Gales coming into the match at 14-8. The Stateliners are 15-2. Roumez stands and Ramos will cut him. That gives Roumez the lead. Roumez at 5-4. Ramos has a pair of takedowns, and he had that standing hazard, Bob, on that last takedown. He got a little sloppy with it and ended up, in a locked hand situation and gave up the reversal at the same time.
Not how you start, but how you finish.
Wrestlers fight for hand control. Ramos looking for maybe a throw if he can get it. At the edge, and off they go. This is the second round of action at the arena today. Earlier in Group 5, Howell beat West Orange 53-13. Southern knocked off Watchung Hills 43-23. And in Group 1, it was Paulsboro 49, Roselle Park 17, and Emerson Park Ridge 47, Point Pleasant 14. Now they'll go at it later this afternoon for the championships. Ramos looking for that throw again. Right in front of our Stateliner Sports Network camera, and they're off the mat at 56 seconds to wrestle in the second.
Roumez did not appear on the mat in common opponent matches.
Circle each other to the left. Dives in at a double. Ramos sprawls, now trying to settle for a high crotch. Has the right leg. Ramos trying to hop. They freeze the leg, and off they go neutral at 29 seconds. So Ramos fights off that takedown attempt.
Yeah, Roumez is showing an interest in going for the legs, where Ramos wants to be up top.
Circling each other to the left. Roumez with half a shot. Ramos looking for that throw again. Roumez half a shot at the left leg. Now looking for a front head and arm is Ramos, and they're off the mat at 5 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Gonna be Ramos's choice in the third, down 5-4. Through 2, 5-4 Roumez, and Ramos wants neutral. Ramos had a pair of takedowns in the first period. We were 4-4 after one, and then Roumez escaped quickly in the second. Stateliners lead the match 18-3. We're at 160, or the 5th of 14. We have wrestled 30 seconds here in the third.
Roumez is being more cautious here, not going in on the legs, because Ramos wants to receive and dump him.
Break apart. Ramos sneaks a look at the clock. Down to under a minute 10.
It's more of a gaze than a glance. I mean, he got a good look.
Not a sense of urgency out of either one of them at this point. Might see that from Ramos soon. He gets that look at the clock again. 40 seconds to go in regulation. Ramos looking up top. If he can get an inside trip. And they're off in front of the Roxbury bench at 24 seconds.
Trailing one here, he let a lot of time go.
Looking for that inside trip. Right in front of us. Roumez missed. Ramos got behind him but ran out of space right in front of our table. All's well. 14 seconds to go. Jarosz will adjust the camera on the scoreboard, but we're good. Ramos staying after Roumez here. 7 seconds to go. Looks for that trip. The throw by Roumez, and Roumez will win a 5-4 decision at 160. We are through 5. It's Phillipsburg 18 and Roxbury 6. What I think is important in all this, Bob, too, in that Roxbury getting like a couple of wins out of their better wrestlers, but no bonus points.
Right.
Anthony Rallo coming up at 170, so he's going to give some weight to Lance Wissing. Rallo is a junior, 21-9. Lance Wissing is a senior, 30-3. Goes right to a takedown for Wissing to lead 2-0. Wissing taking the left wrist, right hand thigh pry, trying to turn Rallo to his left. Maintaining control. Now wants that side headlock. Rallo stands. Here's the trip coming with the headlock. Got the leg in, and he will roll him over to his back. 2 back points for Wissing, and he leads 4-0. Underhooks, puts the claw in on the left shoulder. Still has control of the left wrist. And tried to drive a half in the right. Rallo fought that off. Now he wants the leg split and will stack him up. 1 count. Now to a half. Ties up the near arm and a low leg cradle and has Rallo on his back. 3 back points coming for Wissing with 40 seconds to wrestle. He gets 2. He's up 6-0. Takes him over and rolling on through is Rallo. Controlling the left elbow. Cross faces Rallo. 10 seconds to go. Puts the claw on the left shoulder and a strong left hand tight waist. And the first period will end. Lance Wissing of Phillipsburg on top of Anthony Rallo of Roxbury 6-0.
So Wissing weighing in at 170.6 and Rallo at 156.9.
Rallo chose top in the second. State Liners with an 18-6 lead in the match. We're at 170 or the 6th. Rallo trying to get a leg in on Wissing. Wissing picks that off and he's out on the escape. Lance Wissing of Phillipsburg on top 7-0.
He just threw that leg right out of there.
Arm drag, just a pure strength move by Wissing to go up 9-0. Trying to set up a hazard. Has control of the left arm. Gonna cut him. 9-1, Wissing. Tossed him. Could not hold him on his back. Now with a front head and arm. Head out the side. Right side and looking for a cradle. Takedown for Wissing. He's up 11-1. Trying to set up a hazard tilt. Rallo stands, and the mat returned by Wissing. Controlling the left wrist with 45 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Still controls that wrist. Loses control of it. Rallo stands. Rallo is out. It's 11-2. Rallo with half a shot. Wissing sprawling. Underhooks the left shoulder. Maybe trying to set up a throw out of this. Shrugs him. And Wissing has a takedown to go up 13-2. Right hand thigh prize. The second period comes to an end. It's 13-2. Lance Wissing of the State Liners finishing third in the King of the Mountain, third in the Hurricane tournament, top ranked in this weight class by the Express Times. And they are going to be, Wissing will choose neutral in the third, ahead 13-2. Rallo's a Dover tournament champ, third in the Kittatinny tournament, sixth in the Morris County tournament. Half a shot by Rallo, and Wissing quickly spins back the other way, takes him down to make it 15-2. Traps the left arm at the elbow. Roll attempt by Rallo, and Wissing has him on his back with that. If he can stick him here, he's got the technical fall. If he can get more in the right shoulder, and bridging off his back is Rallo, but the technical fall on the three back points at 18-2 in 3 minutes and 41 seconds. For Lance Wissing of Phillipsburg, we are through 6. It is Phillipsburg 23 and Roxbury 6.
Dominant performance from Lance Wissing with 5 takedowns and back points to put it away.
It's Austin Roth out for Phillipsburg at 182. And this is Talha Kahn for Roxbury. Kahn is a senior, 24-6. Roth is a junior, 16-9. Kahn weighed 172.5. Roth weighs 178.2. This is kind of tapping at each other. This is our 7th bout of the first session, now in the afternoon. Kahn looking for a headlock or a cement job as he tries to control, looks an inside trip on Roth. Roth fought that off. Tries to trip again and takes Roth down, but cannot put him on his back. So a takedown for Kahn, and he leads 2-0.
In common opponents, Kahn was one of the few Gales to get wins against Newton, Ocean Township, Middle North, and Hanover Park.
Roth sits, reaches back for the right leg behind the knee. Kahn maintaining control. Roth trying to trap that right leg. He has that right leg all tied up. We may be nearing a stalemate situation. Kahn has trying to split the legs of Roth. Stalemate's called by referee Mark Russo at 57 seconds to wrestle in the first.
Roth picked up wins against Hanover Park and Ocean Township, but he and Kahn did not wrestle the same opponent in any of those matches.
At 160 across the way, Long Branch has a 13-4 lead in the other semifinal over Highlands.
Long Branch picked up a pin at 152. Major decision and regular decision for.
Kahn riding out the left side of Roth. Stalemate's called there at 32 seconds. Roth getting set. There's a caution. I'm not sure that referee Russo put that on anyone, but Roth stands. Kahn picks him up, brings him back down. Roth stands again, tears at the hands. Kahn brings him down, and off they go in front of the Stateliner bench at 20 seconds to wrestle in the first. Kahn's had trouble maintaining control of Roth out of the referee's position. Tries to pick up the right ankle. Roth stands, tearing those hands apart, and they're off the mat. There's a point for going off the mat, and that's awarded to Roth. I think they're going to penalize Roth. All right, now we're going to have a discussion at the scorer's table with the Roxbury coaching staff. So the point is going to be against Kahn. Roth with the penalty point trails 2-1. Roth sits, stands, ripping the hands apart, and he's out. Now it's 2-2. Roth dives in at the right leg to a double. 3 seconds to go. And a takedown at the buzzer. And Roxbury saying time had expired. Now, Guy Siraki saying no, time had expired. Well, I could not see the clock.
The clock's behind us for that as we're watching the mat. It certainly looked good. But the clock was behind us to our right as we're watching the mat, so can't debate that one.
Roth certainly just ran out of time. He finished it, but ran out of time. So it's 2-2 after 1. Discussion again at the scorer's table with referee Russo, and
I think they're still over that penalty point.
Dave Post is saying that's a bench warning for that conversation.
The coaches are in conversation across the way, and it's not about Italian recipes.
Roth will be underneath to start the second. He's ready. Now Kahn. Roth is out in 2 seconds and leads 3-2. That had to be a confidence builder for him at the end of the first.
Yeah, see if he goes to that single and double again, because once he got that leg, Mike, he was able to suck it in, bowl his way around, using his head for leverage and driving with his feet.
Roth being warned about his tapping to the head of Kahn. Tries to snap down on the head of Kahn. Now they're tied up. In and a single is Roth at the edge. Can he pull him back in? Walks him back in, high, and has the takedown. Roth with a 5-2 lead over Kahn. Reaching across, clawing the right shoulder. Pressures on that right elbow. Has the left leg trapped. Long Branch and the other mat now up 19-4.
Picked up a tech fall at 160.
Stalemate is called. We're back to the center here at 45 seconds with Roth on top 5-2. Roth, left hand, tight waist, tries to throw a leg in as Kahn stands. Roth trying to pick him up. Picks him up on the mat return. Strong left hand, tight waist. Trying to pick up on Kahn's right ankle to flatten him out with under 30 seconds to wrestle in the second. Roth. That's a stalling warning on Roth. First warning. Kahn tries to stand. Rolls. Roth stays with him. Now he has him broken down with under 10 seconds to go as he takes the left wrist. Right hand tight waist. Roth with a 5-2 lead after 2. Kahn's choice. Kahn's going to go underneath. Long Branch just get a fall, Bob?
Yes, they did. Picked up a pin at 170 to go up 25-4.
Roth on top here in the third. Trying to set up a hazard, gives up on that. Controlling the left wrist of Kahn. Trying to pick him up through the crotch. Potentially dangerous is called in a minute 37. Stateliners leading the match 23-6 here. We're at 182, the midway point. Kahn rolls, and Roth almost caught him in that roll.
Yeah, he's got a nice roll there, but Roth isn't fooled.
Roth trying to pick him up through the crotch, take him off his base, still controlling that left wrist. Now sitting on top of that left arm. And now he bars that arm. Has the right wrist. Trying to drive a bar from the left side. He takes a look at the clock. 53 seconds to go. Out the left side. Now a half Nelson from the right. And driving that bar. Taking the right wrist with the bar.
He got to step across here, but he's a bit high.
Lost the bar. A collective awe from the Stateliner bench. Under 30 seconds to go in the bout. That Roth is controlled here on top in the third.
I think he's content with the decision here, Mike. He's burning some clock. He's riding out strong. And that near takedown at the end of the first was all the difference in confidence for these two guys.
Left arm barred. He'll settle his weight down on top of him with 5 seconds to go. Austin Roth, the Phillipsburg, is going to win a 5-2 decision at 182. We are halfway through. It's Phillipsburg 26 and Roxbury 6.
Yeah, from the point of that near takedown, Roth decided that this was going to be his match. And he was solidly in control from there.
This is Ben Temples coming out at 195. Temples is a junior, 5-3. For Phillipsburg, it is Shamir Broders, a senior, 13-12. Temples weighs 180.1. And Broders weighs 184.7. Not many matches where Shamir has the weight advantage here at 195. So Temples weighed in at 182 and comes up to wrestle Broders, who's behind him. Broders gets a knee to the mat, has a takedown. He leads 2-0. Broders out the left side. Picks up on the right ankle. Trying to take Temples off his base, does.
With that takedown, Phillipsburg's going up with a 20-1 takedown advantage.
Hazard tilt. And Broders is reversed out of that, and he's in trouble. And Broders trying to bridge off his back. And he does. Now looking for a cradle is Temples. Brodders has an escape. Guy Siraki is now the referee for the bouts. Mark Russo had the first 7, Guy's the second 7. There's a takedown for Brodders, and state liner coaches say cut him. 7-4, Brodders, 7-5 on the escape. Brodders in on trying to go to a double. Has both legs, trying to pick Temples over top his head. Drops him down to his right hip. Locked through the crotch is Temples. Still no advantage for either wrestler. Temples trying to come off his right hip. At the edge of the mat in front of the Roxbury bench. And they're off at 9 seconds.
So Brodders with 2 takedowns, a pair of back points and an escape. Temples with a reversal, 2 back points and an escape.
Working takedowns here. End of 1, 7-5 Brodders. So Brodders had the first takedown. Then a reverse to make it, and back to backs made it 4-0. The reverse made it 4-2, and back points made it 4-4. And then an escape for Brodders made it 5-4. Takedown Brodders 7-4, and now a pair of escapes, and it's 7-6. Working takedowns here in the second. Front head and arm Brodders driving through on the left leg. And they're off right in front of the state liner coaches. 7-6 lead for Shamir Brodders, the state liner senior, who is 13-12. Power shrug, he's behind him, and he has a knee to the mat. Trying to set up a hazard. Out the left side. Brodders is going to cut him. So the takedown made it 9-6, and escape, Brodders leads 9-7. Power shrug attempted, throws him on by. Takedown, it's 11-7, Brodders cuts him, 11-8.
Shamir's going to work on top here and have his will because he's clearly the stronger wrestler.
Using that power shrug, he has thrown Temples on by a couple of times. 45 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Brodders with 4 takedowns, 2 back points, and an escape for 11. Temples has a reversal, 2 back points, 4 escapes for 8, and they're off the mat in front of the state liner bench at 31 seconds. Temple's like a half a shot at the legs of Brodders. Going to be Brodders' choice in the third, and I would assume he would stay neutral. Ten seconds to go here in the second. Temple's trying to snap down Brodders. A lot of excitement in the Group 2 matches across the way, which we can't see. Slipped headlock by Brodders for a takedown, and he will go up 13-8 after 2.
That's his 5th takedown.
Up, Shamir's going to go underneath. Leading 13-8. Now, Guy Siraki sets him up facing us. Mark Russo set them up the other way. Temple's trying to get a right leg in as Brodders stands, brings him back down. Brodders gets control of the left wrist. Temples has Brodders' right leg hooked. Reaching inside for the right wrist. Tries to throw a leg in, got slipped out the other side, and there's a reversal for Brodders. He goes up 15-8. He will cut him. It's 15-9. Shamir with 19 career wins. Temples has been a part-time wrestler, but he's a defending District 7 champ. And I double-checked that to find out at a couple of sources. He was 4-2 a year ago, but it was a district champ.
That's hard to do. Must have been out by injury and then healthy late.
Temple's trying to snap down on the head of Brodders. I checked 2 sources on that.
Well, then it must be correct.
Temples dives in on Brodders' right leg, and off they go right in front of us with 39 seconds to go. Get you an idea of the, the crowded situation we have here. We have Brad Wilson from the Express Times, LeahValleyLive.com, sitting to our right with a laptop. That's literally in his lap, the laptop. Off the mat at 23 seconds.
Crossed away through 195. It's like want to branch up 31-8.
Temple's looking for a headlock. Three seconds to go. Shamir Brodders diving in will finish a 15-9 decision at 195. We are through 8. It's Phillipsburg 29 and Roxbury 6. Stateliners have 3 falls, a technical fall, 2 regular decisions. The Gales have 2 regular decisions as we go to 220. Stephen Fowler going up for the Gales. He's a senior, 15-12, and Cody Crutz for Phillipsburg. Cody Crutz is a sophomore, 9-10. Fowler is a senior, 16-12. Fowler weighs 185.4, and Cody Crutz weighs 206.1. So he's got 21 pounds. Diving in on a leg is Fowler. Crutz flattens him out, trying to pull the hands apart behind his left knee. Sprawling, trying to hook a leg on Fowler's, trying to pick up that leg of Crutz. Crutz again flattens him out, trying to pry the hands apart. Pressure on the head. Trying to hook that leg. Still no advantage here. Now he has the leg free and has to spin around behind. He's trying to take a cradle. Crutz has a takedown and leads 2-0. Crutz reaches inside for a wrist. 2-on-1 in the left wrist. Tries to hammerlock now that left wrist. And then walk out in front. Fowler trying to look away and avoid being turned here. Crutz trying to bar the arm and then the left arm, go to a half Nelson for the right side. Now he takes the right wrist. Just under 30 seconds to go here in the first. Barring the arm. Trying to step across, and he's got him on his back. Guy Siraki will award 2 back points to Cody Crutz.
Cody was too high to finish there as he kind of lost the bar as he stepped over.
Leads 4-0 after 1.
That's about the most confident period we've seen out of Cody Crutz all year.
Cody Crutz will go underneath to start the second.
The Guy Siraki is clearly giving the wrestlers the better view.
Fowler tries to take Crutz left wrist. Crutz tries to stands. Trying to pull the hands apart at the edge, brings Crutz back down to his knees. Takes Crutz right wrist. Crutz on his knees at the edge of the mat. Might want to get off and get a fresh start here out of the referee's position. And they're off at a minute 17.
So Cody chose down here, but hasn't really come close to getting out in the early going in second period.
He's ready. Fowler picks up on the right ankle. Fowler finishing second in the Dover tournament. Tries to drive a half Nelson from the left side on Crutz. Crutz turning into him. Can he get his arm through, or will he get stuck on his back? He got his arm through, able to belly down. Fowler finishing fourth in the Kittatinny tournament. Crutz was eighth in the Hunter and Sussex Warren. Trying to bar Crutz's left arm. Crutz with a 4-0 lead, but not able to get out here as we come up on 30 seconds to go in the second.
Was close to standing in the early going of this period, but it hasn't come close to getting out since.
I don't think Fowler quite, giving up that 20 pounds, quite strong enough to turn him.
He's mostly just riding parallel, Mike.
Final 10 seconds. Wants a cradle out the right side. He may have a cradle, but he will run out of time as he got Crutz over with a cradle. We are through two. Crutz leading 4-0. So Fowler chose top here in the third. Probably wants another shot at that cradle. Crutz trying to stand. Stands. Crutz trying to pull the hands apart, and Fowler's able to bring him back down to the mat. Right hand tight waist, left elbow. There's been an awful lot of crowd reaction to the Group 2 match, and we can't see anything on that.
And that's where all the noise has been.
Yeah, on both mats. Looking for a cradle. Does he have a cradle out the right side? Fowler has a cradle. Crutz trying to pop out of that, out the left side. Minute 10 to go in the bout. He's going to try and take Crutz to his left. He's got his hands locked in the cradle.
Cody needs to tear at those hands. Kick out a leg.
He's out of the cradle and slipped on a headlock. Tried to headlock his way out of it.
There's a couple times, Mike, where I thought Cody had a chance to come out, and he went for two instead of one and got nothing.
He's reaching for that, has a cradle again. Trying to take him, trying to pop that cradle. Has him in a sitting position, has him in the cradle. Guy Saraki counting out back points, and Crutz is able to belly down. 2 back points will make it 4-2 in favor of Crutz with under 15 seconds. Crutz trying to stand. Trying to lock up that cradle again. 5 seconds to go. He is going to run out of time. Cody Crutz is going to win the bout 4-2 on 4 points in the first period. 4-2, the final at 2:20. We are through 9. It is Phillipsburg 32 and Roxbury 6.
Crutz had a strong first period and just hung on from there, as Steve Fowler was able to ride with ease and turn Crutz a couple times, but only got back points once and only 2 points.
Yeah, Roxbury going to kick up Jose Diaz to 220. Diaz is a senior, 19-13 to face Pat Sharp of the State Liners, who's a senior, 18-13. Diaz weighs 219.7. Sharp at 281.9. 62-pound advantage for Pat Sharp. Sharp looking for a bear hug. Can't lock anything up. And he'll backpedal to the center. We've now caught both. We're at both matches. Both of the Group 4s are at 285. Long Branch with a 31-12 lead over Highlands.
Highland got a overtime decision at 132 and Majors at 182 and 220, but other than that, it's been all Long Branch.
Sharp looking for that bear hug. And off they go. One minute, 1 second to go here in the first. And fighting for hand and wrist control. Sharp trying to underhook the left shoulder. They will backpedal to the center. 35 seconds to go here in the first. State Liners have dropped just 2 of the first 9 and lead 32-6. I think Highlands just got pinned at 285. This is, again, they fight for hand and wrist control here. Sharp tries to push down on the head as the first period ends scoreless here at 285. Sharp's choice. Hill will defer. Diaz will go underneath. See if Sharp can put that 62-pound weight advantage to good use. Chops at the right elbow. Left hand thigh pry. Weight high on the back of Diaz, and Diaz is out. On the escape, the Roxbury senior leading Phillipsburg's Pat Sharp 1-0. Sharp looking for that bear hug. Stalemate's called by referee Guy Saraki. Guy had something to say to both wrestlers. Now they're ready. Either wrestler came close to a takedown in the first. Diaz finishing 3rd in the Dover tournament, 4th in Kittatinny. Did not place in the Morris County tournament. Pat Sharp finishing 7th in the King of the Mountain, 8th in the 100 in Sussex Warren. Pat wrestled as a freshman in the program and then did not wrestle as a sophomore or a junior, and he's done a pretty good job for the State Liners here as a senior heavyweight. He's 18-13 on the season. 25 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Going to be Sharp's choice in the third.
To use the old sports cliche, he has stayed
Sharp
within
got a
himself.
takedown. Quickly grabbed the right leg. Diaz stood quickly. Sharp going to try and lift him up and bring him down. There's a stalling warning on Sharp. Now he brings him down to a knee. So this, and then tries to roll. Diaz turns in, but we run out of time in the second.
Well, the clock has been the state liner's friend a couple times today.
Sharp got a takedown to go up 2-1. Then he was warned for stalling. And Sharp, with that 2-1 lead now, is going to go neutral in the third.
So he has stayed within himself and really not tried to do anything fancy or particularly difficult. He knows what he can do and has held his own here.
I think, he looked up at the clock and was okay with getting that warning on top because he didn't want to give up the escape with under 10 seconds to go. So now we'll see if that warning, though, comes back to, haunt him from the neutral position here in the third.
Well, if he had given the escape, he would have given the point.
Yep.
So he chose not to give it there at the risk of giving it later.
He's around the head trying to snap down on Diaz, then reaches for the right leg. Can't pull it in. And they're off the mat in front of the state liner bench at 1:14 to go.
Well, he had brought Diaz back to the mat. He was riding a bit high and then was close to being reversed, except time expired.
Diaz trying to snap down ahead of Sharp. Looking to tie up, looking for an inside tie on Sharp. Sharp trying to underhook Diaz's left shoulder. They break apart, 50 seconds to go in the bout. Sharp leading 2-1 on a late second period takedown. And Pat Sharp is difficult to take down, for heavyweights. And when he's got that lead, he could afford to take neutral in the third.
His balance is pretty good. He's not quick by any stretch, but his balance is good.
Diaz shot in, Sharp sprawls, spinning around to the left for a takedown for Sharp with 15 seconds to go. Countering that shot, he goes up 4-1. He will cut Diaz. It is 4-2. And Pat Sharp is going to clinch the match for the State Liners. The final is 4-2. We are through 10. It's Phillipsburg 35 and Roxbury 6. That is an insurmountable 35-6 lead. Phillipsburg, let's see if they're going to forfeit here. Yeah, I believe they're going to forfeit to Mazza. Yeah, they are. State Liners will forfeit to Mazza. That'll make it 35-12. And Cullen Day will be out for Phillipsburg. Mazza wins by forfeit. Cullen Day is a senior, 23-8. I believe this will be Jeffrey Corrin. They're going to forfeit. Day wins by forfeit. That makes it 41-12 Phillipsburg. Travis Jones going out for Phillipsburg at 120. Jones is a junior, 28-4. And this is Johnny Tesorero for Roxbury. 41-12 Phillipsburg down in the final two bouts. Tesorero's a junior, 12-16. Jones a junior, 28-4.
Long Branch Highlands still wrestling at 106 with Long Branch up 37-12. Excuse me, 37-18.
Okay, working takedowns here. Tesorero has a lot of tape around just below the right knee on the calf. Jones diving in on a leg, can't get it. Tesorero trying to spin around to Jones's right. Jones with that Peterson Hangs on to the arm, still no advantage. Jones trying to pop out the right side and does. Jones has a takedown and leads 2-0. Trying to set up a hazard tilt. And he will turn him to his right. 2 count. 3, 4, 5. 3 back points for Travis Jones on the hazard tilt. Now he bars the right arm. Lost the left wrist. Bars the arm and at above the elbow. Now he takes the left wrist. Driving with the bar, turns Tesorero over. Tesorero trying to bridge. Guy Saraki is looking in.
Travis picks up his head. He can sit here to get a little bit more leverage.
Tesorero just dropped that right shoulder down. Can he get, and there's the fall with an arm bar in 1:28 for Travis Jones. We go to the final bout of the afternoon. It's Phillipsburg 47 and Roxbury 12. That's the 5th fall and or forfeit for the Stateliners. This is going to be Luke Harden. It's Larry Hopkins, a senior, 14 and 15, and Luke Harden, the junior, 1 and 5 for the Stateliners. So the Stateliners will be back here at the final. Looking like it's going to be Long Branch. I believe that is mathematically over too.
They're up 43-18 with 2 bouts to go.
Yep, that is mathematically over. So Phillipsburg and Long Branch will go at it at 5, and we'll be back here at approximately 4:50 for you. Harden trying to work a front head and arm on Hopkins. Hopkins trying to block Harden off with his left arm and does. Off they go, no advantage. Back to the center.
Harden appeared Friday night for the first time in a while in the varsity lineup.
Hopkins tried to sweep a leg, can't get it. So Phillipsburg will try to complete the drive for 5 against Long Branch, which is a top 20 ranked program in the state. Long Branch, according to NJ.com, is ranked 16th. Harden trying to work a throw with a front head and arm. Can he set up a shrug? Still no advantage here with 35 seconds to go. And a cement job, and rolling on through that was Hopkins. No advantage. Long Branch ranked 16th by NJ.com, 17th by the New Jersey Wrestling Writers Association.
Harden's cement job looked good for a second or two.
Trying to snap down on the head of Hopkins. Now going to spin around to Hopkins' left. Spinning. And is he near a takedown or roll? And yes, says Guy Saraki. Takedown for Harden. And the Stateliner junior leads 2-0 here with 3 seconds to go in the first. Left hand tight waist, underhooks the right shoulder. And the first period will end with Harden out in front, 2-0. His choice, he'll go neutral. I'm sorry, he deferred. Hopkins took down and he let him out. So it's 2-1. Working takedowns here in the second. Talking to Joe Zadelis of Advanced Media, telling us before the match that he thinks Long Branch can give the Stateliners a go. In on a double. And near it, and there's the takedown for Hopkins. He grabs a 3-2 lead over Hardin. Said that Long Branch has some bonus point potential in the heavier weights.
Well, this is our 12th and final bout of the semifinals, and that was just the second takedown given up by the Stateliners.
Hardin getting set. He's ready. Now Hopkins, that's a caution on Hardin. First caution in the bout. He's ready. Hopkins takes the left wrist. Hardin gets to his knees, stands, cuts, and he's out. Bout's tied at 3 with 1:03 to wrestle in the second. So New Jersey Group 4 semifinals from Pine Belt Arena in Toms River. Trying to lock up a front head and arm. Hopkins and an ankle pick. Hardin fights that off. Hardin has underhooked the left shoulder of Hopkins. And they're off the mat in front of the Stateliner bench at 37 seconds to wrestle in the second. So it'll be approximately 4:50 when we get back here for the final. The next round will have the Group 5 and 1 champions and the parochial A and B champions. Shrugged by Hardin, got in on the left leg, trying to pull him back on. 6 seconds to go. Has that left leg high in the air. Trying to trip with the right, and nope, ran out of time. So Hardin had it, but he ran out of time. And we are 3-3 after 2.
That's one where the clock did not help them, as Hardin got the trip for the takedown, but time had expired.
He'll be underneath. Right hand tight waist by Hopkins and the left wrist. Tries to bar Hardin's left arm. Hardin gets to his knees. Hardin trying to get to a stand. Stands. Hopkins takes him down just to the left of our Stateliner Sports Network camera with 1:39 to go in the bout. So it'll be Phillipsburg and Long Branch coming up for the Group 4 championship. Hardin is ready. Now Hopkins, right hand tight waist, left elbow. I thought Hardin could have been hit for a caution there, the way he moved on his front side. Hopkins takes the left wrist.
It was more Hopkins applying force as he went to grab Hardin to start that bumped him to the side.
Hardin stands. Hopkins drops down on the left leg, trying to go to a double. Hardin trying to sprawl now. Hopkins picks him up over top his head. And maintains control of Hardin. Under a minute to go in a 3-3 bout here in the third. Final bout of the afternoon. Stateliners have it clinched at 47-12. Harden sneaks that look at the clock. Hopkins maintaining control. Goes cross-face, looking for a cross-face cradle.
Hit that one kind of hard.
Trying to lock up a cradle the other way. Harden stands, switches near the edge of the mat. Hopkins is around the hands locked behind the left thigh of Harden. 14 seconds to go.
Luke's got to peel those hands off to get one.
He got the one with 8 seconds to go. Hopkins misses on a throw. Harden with a front head and arm will plant Hopkins. And it's it. It's over. It'll be a 4-3 win. Oh, he got the takedown. Takedown was awarded. 6-3 victory for Luke Harden of Phillipsburg. And the final in this Group 4 semifinal, Phillipsburg 50 and Roxbury 12. Stateliners with 5 falls and/or forfeits, a technical fall, and 4 regular decisions. Roxbury had a forfeit and 2 regular decisions. That's win number 6 in the series for the Stateliners, and the 3rd time that they have gotten the best of the Gales in the postseason. Phillipsburg and Roxbury in the Group 4 semifinals on the Stateliners Sports Network, a service of the Rothman Institute, a worldwide leader in orthopedics, an official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA. Visit rothmaninstitute.com. By Ahart, Frinzi & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at afsinsurance.com. By Urco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Visit us at urcocu.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterd and Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. By Welcome to the Pit, a history of Phillipsburg wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. And follow Phillipsburg Wrestling on Twitter at PbergHS, WRESTLIN. So Coach Post coming over to join us, and I'm sure he's sneaking a look at Long Branch and Highlands across the way. Long Branch has that one clinched at 43-18 with a couple of bouts to go, but a pretty impressive performance in that first round.
Yeah, we looked really good. I mean, sometimes you worry down here. You know, we wrestle so many, 7 p.m. matches and dual meets and stuff, and we wrestle a lot of tournaments, but to wrestle a dual meet that early in the morning, sometimes we come down here and we don't look our best in the morning, and then we end up looking really well, really tough in the finals. But that was just a heck of a performance. I mean, even our guys that got beat, they went out, they wrestled hard, they took guys that had 25 wins on their team and pushed them to the brink and nearly pulled out a couple of those wins there. But we were very happy, and we've been watching that one over there for a little bit.
I think Brian Meyer is, maybe rounding isn't the right word, but he is certainly getting into postseason form.
Yeah, he looks really good. There was a period of time during the season where he had trouble going to both sides. He's always had a good attack to one side, and then he was kind of working on the other side and just kept got himself out of his go-to stuff. But now he's got attacks both ways. His shot defense is really good. His reshots, and he looked really tough there. Just keep putting the pressure on him to get the fall. So he looked really good, and we're excited to see what we can do in the finals.
And out of the 11 that you come away with victories, 6 of them with bonus points.
That's what we've been doing. I mean, we keep preaching to the guys that if we just keep doing the things we're doing, we wrestle selfishly, even if we're down and about, that we're not gonna give up any extra bonus points. We'll be all right.
All right, we'll give you a chance to rest up. You too, rest up.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you back here for the finals.
Yep,
Congratulations on the win.
Yep, appreciate it.
Stateliner coach Dave Post, now his career 128-20. The Stateliners against New Jersey competition since 1979-80, 491, 63-1, and all time Phillipsburg now with 956 wins versus 263 defeats, 7 draws all time. We began at 132. Kyle Tino of Phillipsburg, a fall in a minute 4 with a half Nelson over Kevin Rosato. 138, Cody Harrison of the Stateliners, a fall in 328 over Scott Jarosz of Roxbury to make it 12-0. 145, Dominic Larusso of Roxbury, 4-0 decision over Phillipsburg's Ryan Mitzak to cut it to 12-3. 152, Brian Meyer of Phillipsburg, a fall with a cement job in 458 over Evan Vasquez to make it 18-3 Phillipsburg. 160, Michael Roumez of Roxbury scored a 5-4 decision over Phillipsburg's Josh Ramos to cut it to 18-6. 170, Lance Wissing, technical fall in 3 minutes and 41 seconds over Anthony Rallo to make it 23. That technical fall was 18-2, and that made it Phillipsburg 23 and Roxbury 6. 182, Austin Roth of Phillipsburg won a 5-2 decision over Talha Kahn to make it 26-6. 195, Shamir Bronner's a 15-9 decision over Ben Temples to make it 29-6 Stateliners. 220, Stephen Fowler Cody Crutz of Phillipsburg won a 4-2 decision over Stephen Fowler of Roxbury. Made it 32-6 after 9 for Phillipsburg. 285, Pat Sharp won a 4-2 decision over Jose Diaz, giving Phillipsburg a insurmountable 35-6 advantage. 106, the Stateliners forfeited to Franco Mazza. 113, Roxbury forfeited to Phillipsburg Cullen Day. 120, Travis Jones of Phillipsburg, a fall with an armbar in a minute 28 over Johnny Tesario. And at 126, Luke Harton of Phillipsburg won a 6-3 decision over Lawrence Hopkins. The final 50-12, Phillipsburg over Roxbury. Stateliners 5 falls, indoor forfeits, a technical fall, and 4 regular decisions. Roxbury had a forfeit and 2 regular decisions. So that sets the Stateliners up against Long Branch for the title.
Yeah, hardly, it could not have gone much better for Phillipsburg this morning. A dominant 29-2 performance on their feet, and big victories all throughout the lineup.
Thanks here to our supervising broadcast technician, Jared Marchicelli, and our production assistant, Jake Kosa. So we'll be back here approximately 4:50. Will be time for the final. For Bob Kerp, I'm Mike Moore on the Stateliners Sports Network. See you back here later this afternoon.